Hello everybody, welcome to Mike's Mike. My name is Mike. Hope you're all doing fantastic. This is another pop culture deep dive video that follows on from the one that I put out last week. Just on that actually, thank you all so much for watching that video and leaving me such nice comments. This video today, if you don't feel enlightened at the end of this video, you deserve a refund. Today I'm talking about the lost art of celebrity apps and games, which I would say were big around the end of the noughties to the start of the 2010s. And just a quick disclaimer, I can't talk about every single celebrity app or game that existed in the history of the universe, not just this planet. There might be celebrities on other planets. You don't know. So if there's one that I didn't mention but you know a lot about, feel free to talk about it in the comments and I look forward to reading it. An interesting overall theme here is the intersection of celebrities and technology. You might not immediately be aware of it, but a lot of niche applications and platforms have investment from some really big names. An example for me that comes to mind straight away is Tidal. Tidal's basically a subscription-based music and podcast competitor for Spotify and Apple Music. If you were active on the internet when Tidal was announced, you deserve some kind of discount for going through it. The basic who's who of Tidal's history is that it was launched in Norway in 2010 by Aspero, and then Aspero was purchased by Project Panther Bidco Limited for about $56 million. Project Panther Bidco Limited is actually controlled by Jay-Z. That will be important later. So on launch, part of the selling point of Tidal was the exclusive music and content that would be coming from the artists that co-own the platform. So who co-owns or co-owned Tidal? Strap in, it's about to get hectic. Let me move my bangs so I can read this properly. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna, Kanye West, Nicki Minaj, Daft Punk, Jack White, Madonna, Arcade Fire, Alicia Keys, Usher, Chris Martin, Calvin Harris, J. Cole, Lil Wayne, and then a bunch more. The launch of Tidal was dramatic, all caps, italics, bold. They released this dramatic video called Tidal, #Tidal for all.
We just went down.
And it was a lot.
I just thought about like how crazy this is, how this is like the beginning of the new world. This is an historic change the course of history.
Actually, while I was rewatching it, I was kind of like, whatever, Chris Martin, whatever, Kanye West, whatever. And then I'd see Nicki and I'd be like,
Every great movement started with a group of people being able to get together and really just make a stand.
The way they're acting like they're starting a new technological revolution by getting 16 celebrities to sit together at a table. Actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of similar to that video that came out last year of the celebrities singing. They're like, imagine all that people. No. To give you an indication of the drama, I like this quote from Madonna.
Maybe it sounds like a cliche, but it's about putting art back into the forefront. It's about bringing humanity back to being an artist, not technology, art.
You're launching a music service. Is it that serious? And they keep saying we are taking a stand. Against who for what exactly? So now I'm going to tell you about this video's Scream Fact number 1. After changing hands a few times, the latest is that the company Square purchased Tidal in March of this year for $297 million. Yeah, what's Michael talking about? He hasn't spoken to a human in 7 days, he's losing it. That may be true, but this is wild. Part of the deal was that Square will own a majority of Tidal, but also that Jay-Z will be appointed to the board of directors at Square. So what does this big company Square do? Square owns those like little things sometimes you tap at shops to pay for things, and they also own Cash App. So Jay-Z is on the board of directors for the company that owns Cash App.
Cause look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
Also, guess who co-founded Square? Jack Dorsey, who's the CEO of Twitter. Bye. I'll be saying bye a lot this video actually. Many a departure to be had in this video. So I think that was kind of a good introduction to the intersection of celebrities or musicians and technology. Probably the next step of that conversation would be discussing those musicians that get really into the tech side, like some could say too much, such as will.i.am releasing a $300 face mask that plays music. But let's narrow our focus. Focus on me. Great song by Ariana, honestly. So yes, let's narrow our focus down to apps and games. I want to talk about the Nictionary so bad, but we'll get there. Tumble Dryer. If you don't understand that now, you will. Trust me. So Gordon Ramsay really is no stranger to making a little bit of money on the side. I think that's probably fair to say for all the celebrity chefs. I'm talking books, TV shows, masterclasses, movie appearances, podcasts, restaurants, YouTube channels, and yes, apps and games. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Hell's Kitchen, the game, which was a cross-platform moment for Wii, Nintendo DS, Windows, and iOS, and was released in 2008. And I just wanted to quickly mention this because obviously the game Hell's Kitchen is based on the show Hell's Kitchen, where Gordon Ramsay is basically running a restaurant with contestants. And the best thing about it is Gordon swearing at everyone. And the game didn't have that swearing content and everyone complained. So then they released like a special patch where it was like the uncensored version where Gordon would swear at you. So that's fun. Another one of Gordon's games was Gordon Ramsay Restaurant Dash. Gordon's games kind of sounds like he's 65 and he used to be this grand champion chess player and now he owns a gaming store in London CBD. Welcome to Gordon's Games. Again, you might be like, why are you talking about this? I don't care. Well, the game made $10 million. Sophie. I don't know why I'm picking on Sophie. Sorry to the Sophies. Actually, no, I'm not sorry to the Sophies. Apparently that was the profit from being up for 1 year on the app stores. $10 million? Are you kidding me? The first time I read that, I screamed internally. And then I screamed externally. What next? Jamie Oliver's gonna release a video game? He did. It's called What's Cooking with Jamie Oliver, available on Nintendo DS. Okay, next you're gonna tell me that Guy Fieri's in a video game. So back to Gordon's app. This $10 million ultra successful game was made by Glue Mobile. I would say in this discussion, this high fantasy saga that you and I are engaging in right now, Glue Mobile is a main character. Nicki Minaj The Empire, Glue Mobile. Katy Perry Pop, Glue Mobile. Britney Spears American Dream, Glue Mobile. SpongeBob SquarePants Prom of Doom, Glue Mobile. Kim Kardashian Hollywood, Glue Mobile. Electronic Arts bought Glue Mobile out a couple of months ago. And guess how much for? Is it A, $25 million, B, $100 million, C, $500 million, or D, $1 billion? Wrong. $2.4 billion. And speaking of ridiculous amounts of money, remember when I said that Gordon Ramsay's app made $10 million? Kim Kardashian Hollywood made $220 million. The app was downloaded 67 million times. Average it out. The girls are spending money. Sources tell me, yes, my sources, not your sources, my personal and exclusive sources from the google.com website HQ, where they print every single Google search on a separate piece of paper, they're saying that Kim took home 45% of that revenue. There is big, juicy, thick money. The app has a rating of 4.7 out of 5 from 192,000 reviews and was number 86 on Polygon's Games of the Decade list. For context, number 87 was Control, which looks like this, and Kim Kardashian Hollywood beat it.
Ladies and gentlemen, her.
The player's goal in Kim Kardashian Hollywood is to increase their fame and reputation by gaining fans in order to go from an E-lister to an A-list celebrity. You do this by booking modeling and acting jobs, doing club appearances, and going on dates. Now, the app is part of the freemium model, and freemium just means that it's free to play, but often if you want to enhance your experience in the game or in the app, you have to pay for things. So how did Kimberly make the money? How did she bake the dough, per se? You know, certain je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi bake the dough, Kimberly. Well, these actions in the game where you go to events and go on dates, they cost energy, which is just so accurate. Going on dates is exhausting. Can I get a high five? No. Whatever. So actions cost energy, which refills over time, but players can speed that up by using in-game money and K-stars, which you earn by watching ads, or you can buy them. I personally like the freemium model because it makes the base game accessible to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford the game, but sometimes it gets a bit sus where the only way for you to get to a level or to complete a task is by purchasing something with the in-game currency. In terms of development, apparently Glue Mobile wanted to make a casual role-playing game that could be reskinned for different audiences, and they figured the best person to start this off with would be Miss Hollywood herself, Kim Kardashian. I might squat for a second, hold on. If you think about it, it's actually so genius of Glue Mobile to do that because it's Kim Kardashian, right? If it flops, you're just like, whatever, it's Kim Kardashian. And if it does well, it gets a shitload of money, which it did. It's like the Galaxy brainification of Glue Mobile. I went to the App Store and read a bunch of reviews, and it's kind of split between people saying like, yes, best game ever. And then there were also people saying that the in-game purchases were kind of unavoidable but also expensive. So in the game, Kim plays herself, and we also have other VIP characters such as Kendall, Kylie, Courtney, Chloe, Chris, Crunchy, Kahlua, and Krusty Krab. Also, Nene Leakes and Jonathan Cheban, or Food God, he is an enigma. I went and looked at his Instagram profile the other day and I was like, what?
You 38 years old. How long you gonna be doing this?
So now I would like to have some Hey Bestie discourse.
Hey bestie.
So I think that means we have Kim Kardashian Hollywood and Glue Mobile to thank for the Hey Bestie meme, which has just devolved into so many variants. Here are some of my favorites.
Hey bestie. We said me. Hey bestie. Hey bestie.
Hey worsty. As I mentioned before, one of the goals that Glue Mobile had when developing Kim Kardashian Hollywood was that they could take the game, reskin it and change it slightly for different celebrity endorsements. And keep in mind, this is the early to mid 2010s. Who would you say is the target audience of these artists? Teenage girls. One of the reasons why Kim's game was so successful in the first place was that it was catering to a largely underused market in the mobile gaming area, which is young women. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Let me get my little microphone. Listen to teenage girls. They write the pop culture trends, and if they don't write them themselves, they amplify it. Anyways, shout out to the girls. Also, side note, look at my nails. Exactly. So Glue Mobile's second celebrity game was Katy Perry Pop, released at the end of 2015. The game involved wanting to become a pop star and achieving that by creating your on and off stage persona and essentially just doing the same things you do in the Kim Kardashian Hollywood game, but with a music focus. By the end of 2016, the game was pulled off the App Store. So it was up there for 1 year and then it was pulled off because it flopped. There are obviously a bunch of reasons why it didn't perform as expected, but one of them was that it was kind of targeting the same audience that was already invested in Kim Kardashian Hollywood, because that had been out for about 1.5 years at this point in time. So they're kind of asking this audience to start over on a very similar game and then just lose all the progress that they had on this other one that was arguably easier anyway. Why would you? What was the reason? Similarly, we had Britney Spears' American Dream, which met a bit of a fiery end. Also, Nicki Minaj, The Empire. It performed a bit better than Britney's and Katie's games, and again was the same thing in terms of gameplay, but with a bit of a hip-hop spin. Apparently, one of the selling points of Nicki Minaj, The Empire was this unreleased song that she made for it.
If I told you that I'm in the hood when you know fucking right I'm in Beverly Hills.
Give me the song on streaming. Give me all your lovin'. Shout out to the Nicki and Madonna collab songs. There's like 3 of them and they're all hits. One of them's produced by Sophie. So our main character besties at Glue Mobile also worked with Taylor Swift on developing a social media app called The Swift Life. Released in December 2017 and shut down in January 2019, The Swift Life was sort of this Facebook crossed with Tumblr crossed with Pinterest app that was basically for Taylor stans to communicate with each other and Taylor herself. I personally didn't have much experience with this when it all happened, but if you were a big Taylor fan and you downloaded this app, I would like to hear from you in the comments, because in addition to it being hard to find stuff online, the stuff that I was reading about how it all started and ended is just wild. So if you experienced what I'm about to talk about, please let me know in the comments. Apparently right after launch, we had all these Trump stans. I love calling like people who follow a political party, I love calling them stans. Apparently people created all these accounts and spammed like nasty shit through the app under the guise of, I'm a Taylor Swift fan and I can say whatever I want, #free speech. Let me slumber. A slight variation on these Glue mobile apps was the collaboration that Demi Lovato did with Episode. So if you're not familiar with what Episode is, it's kind of a choose your own adventure graphic novel type game. The summary for Demi Lovato Path to Fame says, when you win a chance to tour with Demi Lovato, your ability to balance love, friends and fans is put to the test. Since episode games typically rely a lot more on story and not so much that like achievement and grinding kind of gameplay that you have in those Glue mobile apps, instead there's a lot more locations and a lot more characters. I think this kind of collaboration that they did with Demi Lovato is actually quite interesting, especially at that time, because I would say 2010 to 2015 was kind of when fan fiction was rife. And I'm just kind of like, why did they not do a One Direction collaboration with Episode? Hello, let me teleport back to 2012 real quick, print off a copy of Babysitting One Direction from Wattpad and turn that into an Episode Choose Your Own Adventure story. Boom. Billions, if not trillions of dollars. To close out the apps discussion, I would like to talk about celebrity-specific apps. I don't want to talk about the Kardashians anymore, but they all have their own apps, all of them. I swear every time that I'm like, I'm going to look up this pop culture topic, if the topic involves a side hustle where someone's making money, the Kardashians are always involved. Like, without fail. We're at 100% strike rate at the moment. The 3 apps I wanted to talk about were My Pink Friday, the ARTPOP app, and the Jeremy Renner app. So the My Pink Friday app and the ARTPOP app were made to support the rollout of the Pink Friday by Nicki Minaj and ARTPOP by Lady Gaga albums. My Pink Friday is almost 100% a ghost online. It is so hard to find information about it. It was released in 2011 and was promoted as the place for all barbs to stay up to date on everything Nicki. The app featured samples from Pink Friday, exclusive photo galleries, latest Nicki news and events, integrations with Facebook and Twitter to interact with Nicki and other barbs, and most importantly, the Nictionary. The Nictionary is sort of this dictionary of Nicki's vocabulary, and it's her voicing all the definitions. It's actually almost impossible to find the Nictionary audios. They are not on YouTube. The only place that they are is on this one TikTok account. So this is like very exclusive Barb's content. This is high level Barb access. If you weren't a Barb during the tumultuous Queen era, I don't know if you deserve to view this content.
Word. Barbie juice. Noun. Definition. Ice cold pickle juice in a glass that Barbies drink to experience a sudden blast of euphoria.
Also, side note, I think it just makes potentially too much sense that the person recording this TikTok has Lady Gaga Oreos in the background.
Word. Waffle House. Adjective. Definition. A clearly misguided old wrinkle.
Can you imagine the genuine and literal societal collapse if Nicki resurrected this idea now and did a definition of Waffle House? Like, come on.
Word. Tumble dry. Verb. Definition. Used when speaking to washed up bitches. Sentence. Tumble dry, bitch, tumble dry.
So there we have tumble dry that I mentioned at the start of the video. Used when speaking to washed up bitches. Tumble dry. Did I just call you washed up? Maybe, and what are you gonna do about it? Am I washed up? That's a conversation for another day.
Word. Barbie's phone number. 718. Sit your ass down.
718. Sit your ass down. 718, like this video. 718, leave me a comment. 718, subscribe. Oh my god, I just nearly fell off my stool. So in total, there are 42 entries in the Nictionary. It's camp. I say camp a lot, but this is Carly Kloss approved camp. Lady Gaga's ARTPOP app was a similar album-specific promo tool that promised chats, films for every song, extra music content, and Gaga-inspired games and fashion updates. The hype was high for this. It's very reminiscent of that Tidal video. This is how Lady Gaga's team was talking about it. Altering the human experience with social media, it brings art culture into pop in a reversed Warholian expedition. Huh? Stephanie, bestie, you were just saying words at this point. Unfortunately, when the ARTPOP era didn't go as planned in terms of reception, which I am still so fucking mad about. Best album ever. My favorite album of all time. Society let Lady Gaga down. So yeah, basically when it didn't go as expected, they pulled all the funding and all the extra content that was promised just kind of fell apart. Hashtag justice for ARTPOP. I feel like RuPaul in Drag Race when he's like about to introduce a challenge and he's like, hashtag justice for ARTPOP. Every time I read something about the ARTPOP era, I just feel confusion and enlightenment at the same time. Lady Gaga was supposed to perform in space, and the reason why it didn't happen is because the ship that she was supposed to go to space and perform on during one of the trial runs or something, it exploded, and I think someone died. I think this is real, unless I got pranked. I did read it on like Lana boards or something. Also, side note, in terms of just the absolute lengths that these artists and their teams were going to promote new eras, we don't really see the same extent today. The only similarities that I can find are in K-pop, just the production level and budget that goes into like a K-pop rollout with all the teasers, all the posters, all the videos, all the interviews, all that kind of thing. I think that's, K-pop's just kind of unparalleled. I need to do a K-pop video. Enter stage left. The Jeremy Renner app. In March 2017, Jeremy Renner released the Jeremy Renner official app that promised a deeper look into his life. It's getting weird. Not to be rude, but who asked? No, that's me. I think some people would ask. But then I looked into the company that made this app. The company is called EscapeX, and apparently they've made 150 different apps for different celebrities, and they're all quite successful. So there you go. So it was a Jeremy Renner app by Jeremy Renner, where Jeremy Renner fans could talk about their bestie girl, Jeremy Renner. What could go wrong? Apparently a lot. Turns out there was drama in the Jeremy Renner fandom. What are Jeremy Renner fans called? People were reporting that in the app there was so much bullying and censorship going on from the mods, which raises the question, can't the Rennernators just get along? When it got out that the Jeremy Renner app existed, the trolls said, let me have a slice of that pie, and jumped in and just destroyed it. The whole saga ended with Jeremy Renner posting a note into the app, and the note starts with, the app has jumped the shark, literally. What do you mean, Jeremy? So now, let's take this discussion and let's shift it into video games. That was so... Can you tell I'm in my anime era? So my research into celebrities in video games is kind of divided into 4 categories. Games that use someone's likeness without their permission, games that have celebrities as non-playable characters, games that have celebrities as playable characters, and games that use musicians' content as kind of like part of the game. So that first category, games that use celebrity likeness without permission. I feel like if you were on TikTok in the second half of last year, you would know what I mean when I say, I found a game for baddies.
I found a game for baddies.
I would say that the infringement is kind of in a bunch of different ways in these games.
OMG. It's the split for me.
Like either they'll be using a hyperspeed remix of Megatron.
My ankles could never split, OMG.
Did you really get the rights for that? Absolutely not. Or there'll be like an unlockable Anaconda skin that looks suspiciously like Nicki's outfit in the Anaconda music video. That's suspicious. That's weird. Here's another example. You can't tell me that this isn't Nicki's outfit from the Super Bass music video. Also, the spelling of Super Bass, I had a little bit of a meltdown trying to spell Super Bass. Is it Super B-A-S-E or Super B-A-S-S? But then I remembered, I went to an all-boys school, and the way that people used to talk about the Nicki Minaj Super Bass music video was by calling the song Superb Ass. So there you go. If you ever forget how to spell super bass, just think superb ass. Exhausting. Another interesting example is Lindsay Lohan suing, Lohan. She sued Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games for using her likeness in Grand Theft Auto 5 without her permission. Her legal team said that the character incorporates her likeness, clothing, outfits, her own clothing line of products, and her ensemble in the form of hats, hairstyles, sunglasses, and jean shorts. Lindsay actually lost that battle because they kind of just said it's kind of just any rich valley girl stereotype. There's nothing that specifically screams Lindsay about this. But I feel like if Nicki's team sued the game High Heels, they'd probably have cause. So High Heels, maybe get to deleting some parts. In terms of celebrity content in games, I'm talking like Guitar Hero, Just Dance, SingStar. And again, it all comes down to the cheese. It comes down to the money, the moolah. I remember playing SingStar and there'd be 2 really spectacular hits and then the rest would be like, what the fuck, no one asked for this. It's because the cash money. Content costs money. There you go, that's it. Full stop, end the video. Things cost money. I just ended consumerism, capitalism, over, done, bye. The playable characters part of the discussion, you can play as Dua Lipa in FIFA. Sorry? What? There's also Travis Scott in Fortnite, which I think probably makes a bit more sense in terms of target audience. And also Travis Scott did like an interactive concert inside Fortnite just before the release of the skin, and it made so much money. Also, in terms of Lady Gaga's lost promo eras, Chromatica, let me just breathe real quick. There was supposed to be a Lady Gaga concert in Fortnite. And there's going to be an unlockable Gaga skin. I collapsed and fell. Let me just fall on the floor real quick. Oh no, I fell. Help me get up. I am stuck. So yes, similarly to how Travis Scott and Marshmello did those virtual concerts, also Kid Cudi did one, I think, as well. So Lady Gaga was supposed to do one of those. But thanks to the 5-2, we were robbed. Oh, just got to make a quick call. I would like to report a robbery. We as a society have been robbed. Now that I think about it, where is the Nicki Minaj skin? Epic Games? How can you be epic all games? Hand over the Nicki Minaj skin. Where is the Twice expansion pack? Let's wrap up this video by discussing dedicated pop star video games. Britney's Dance Beat was a rhythm game based on the music video choreography of Britney Spears. The Hello, Goodbye. The 5 playable songs were Hit Me Baby One More Time, Stronger, Oops I Did It Again, Overprotected, and I'm a Slave for You. Basically, what you did in this game is you were auditioning to be a backup dancer for one of Britney's concerts or something, and she was like your mentor, and she'd be there on the screen, and there's like a little dial, and you have to press the buttons when they come up for your character to do the moves. The reviews for the game weren't great, but here's a fun one by Maxim. It's a mindless version of Simon Says to the masterful beats of Oops I Did It Again. So what exactly is the issue? Oh, this one's so interesting. Okay, did you know that in 2011, Beyonce, yes, Beyonce, Knowles, if you will, was working on a motion capture dance video game called Star Power. Did you know that Beyonce was sued for $100 million over her dance motion capture video game Star Power? Apparently, she was working with the development company Gate 5 on a Dance Dance Revolution or Just Dance sort of game where players would learn the choreography to all her famous routines from music videos and live performances. That is specifically what I requested. And yet, where is it? Nowhere to be seen. Into the thick of it. Where is it? Give it. I'm sick of being let down. Apparently what happened was Gate 5 was expected to have $5 million in funding by a specific point, and they didn't. Beyonce was like, actually, you know what? Bye. So the spicy part was that Gate 5 said that they were actually in the process of closing a $19 million deal when Beyonce was like, you haven't got the $5 million in funding. So when Beyonce kind of ended the product on a whim, Gate 5 had to lay off like 70 people, and it nearly sunk the company because they'd invested so much money into the production of this game. So they sued her for $100 million, which is cute and fun and fresh. And usually these kinds of cases don't get very far in like the legal system, but there were some judges involved in this one that decided Beyonce actually had something to answer for. Apparently the case got confidentially settled outside of courts. There's no information about what ended up happening, but I think Beyonce had to pay a chunk of money. I don't think it was $100 million. But she had to pay a bit of money. The only real loser is us. Me specifically. I would have eaten this shit up. This would have been the game that I would have become a world champion at. It hasn't happened yet. I'm not a world champion at any game, and I think that in itself is sick and twisted and rude. Imagine being the top player on Beyonce Superstar. That makes sense for my journey on this rock around the fireball. Give me the Beyonce motion capture dancing game. I think a lot of the pullback on making these kinds of games is that not a lot of people would actually buy the game. Kim Kardashian Hollywood was so successful because it was the freemium model. But these motion capture games require a large capital investment, and I guess these stars and game devs aren't sure they're going to make their money back. So I guess if you're trying to make a game that people would actually have to buy to play, you'd have to find a fan base that is so dedicated that they'll buy the game. I think that brings me to the end of this video. My stool era, not obsessed with it. If I had bad posture throughout this video, you did not see it, do not comment on it. But if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave me a like. If you've got something to say, leave me a comment. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. 500,000 subscribers. I can see it on the distant horizon of Pluto. Not on our planet yet, but on Pluto. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Go follow me on Instagram. That's unrelated, but do it anyway. Ha 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 ha. And I'll talk to you all soon. Peace out, bye. Welcome to the end screen. Here you will find another video for you to watch and a link to easily subscribe to my channel. So make sure you subscribe to my channel.